Greetings. We continue today with part 2 of the future glorification discussed in 1 Peter 8 through 10. The fact that we must believe without seeing strikes to the very heart of God's gospel message. One must exercise his own personal faith in order to be saved by God's grace. Hebrews 11:1 defines faith as now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, and the idea is not yet seen. In 2 Corinthians 5:7 it says, "For we walk by faith, not by sight." Romans 8:24 asks, "For we're saved by hope. But hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, what doth he yet hope for?" Verse 25 continues, "But if we hope for that which we see not, then we do with patience wait for it." 2 Corinthians 4:18, "While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal." Please, let's comprehend the application to Thomas. He said, "I will not believe what I cannot see." That is not faith. In fact, that is the opposite of faith. So today, right now in this very moment, I desire to be one whom Peter is recalling that Jesus commended for believing without having seen or presently seeing. How about you? Is that your desire? You want to be like Thomas? You want to be about the ones Peter's talking about? In John chapter 10, verse 10, in the second part of the verse, Jesus said, "I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly." I believe this is conveying the essence of the same message in 1 Peter 1:8. We have the life which Jesus promised by loving and believing in him. But we also have the abundance of life in present time by rejoicing ourselves with inexpressible joy and with having been glorified and continuing to be glorified joy. In other words, 1 Peter 1:8 declares that our present joy is determined not by focusing upon the present sufferings, rather by focusing upon the future value of those sufferings which will be revealed later. Joy, some children of God have it, and sadly some children of God do not have it. But the Word of God teaches that joy is available to all. However, one must make a personal choice in order to acquire it. The use of the present middle indicative here indicates that. Have you ever been so full of emotion that you could not say a word? Your emotion overflowed and poured out through your eyes in the form of tears. Now, I'm not talking about tears of sorrow here. I'm talking about tears of joy. The difference, whether they're tears of sorrow or tears of joy, may not be discernible to those observing. You may have a flood of happy tears, and yet someone may ask you, "What's wrong?" You might answer something like, "I'm not crying about anything which is wrong. I'm crying because everything is right." There's a little poem that the kids used to have to learn in English class by Robert Browning, entitled Pippa's Passes. And it's one of those you kind of have to pay attention to and look at a couple times to discern the meaning. But it simply says, "The year at spring," meaning the year is, "and the days at the morn, mornings at 7, the hillsides dew pearled, the larks on the wing, the snails on the thorn, God's in his heaven, all's right with the world." You see, the full realization of the future value of our present sufferings in 1 Peter 1:7 will be known when Jesus Christ comes again. So we're encouraged to have joy over and over and over and over again. That's what rejoice means. So how can we continue to rejoice? By being overcome to the point of not being able to fully express our joy, but trying over and over again by glorifying God's gracious gift toward us in Jesus Christ.